cause y'all know what it is.
TSU Trap News Network.
I was with Rich Trapper.
I Bricc with you.
What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. Back in this thing, back in this thing. It's like cracking this thing here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledgeito you're not finna get in nobody's collegeito. Make sure you hit that notification bell at the top. Hit all, stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest. Hit that like, hit that hype, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that share button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Make sure you tap in. Leave a comment because we're going back to the chili giveaway. So when we get to 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we pick the best comment between now and 31,000 subscribers. We're going to give you some chili, big dog. So it's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. Once we get 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we let y'all know an exact date and exact time that we will be doing a live to give away that money. You got Cash App, you got Apple Pay, you got Zelle, you got Venmo. Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure you get that chili. Make sure you hit that like button, that comment, that good subscribe button. TNN Trap News Network. We taking it back to the basics, man. And my man TSU Surf is not only home, but he on Twitter Spaces. We finna jump into this Consiano without no further do's or don'ts, man. They saying that's something that he might have said might be a flu flam. Let's get into it. Let's go.
TSU Surf Spaces for quite some time since he did the Spaces, and I still haven't listened to it, but I have seen the reactions from the battle rap community. And I just think it's funny, man. You know, when you look back on the Kid Slade situation, the Adi Boom situation, when you look back on how all of these different things were handled, it really, I don't have to say anything because this type of stuff just exposes the battle rap community. One of the things that holds battle rap back is the lack of realness. Y'all think that it's everything else, and it's really just the fact that people look at it like wrestling. They hearing about y'all coming together and practicing rounds, and niggas is recycling rounds, and it's just, it don't got that fire that it would have if people were actually competitive to the point where nobody heard your rounds or you know, y'all actually put money up on the line instead of people getting paid whether they win or lose. That would bring the competitive nature back. But y'all let TSU Surf come in Spaces. I haven't heard any of it. I just see the titles and it's like, what? Y'all let a rat come back and just tell y'all what to do, and everybody was, oh, Surf is back. That's the terrible. That's what makes the state of battle rap terrible. Y'all don't even have the nuts to challenge and question certain things, and it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with anything other than popularity and fame, potential fame. You know, y'all trying to ride his skill set off into the sunset. So I decided, hey, let me just remind y'all of how bad Surf really did. Not y'all as in the battle rap community, because they don't care. I'm talking to the masses now. Let me show y'all what type of dudes these battle rap dudes really are, and then y'all can look at that battle rap shit and make your own judgment. But check this out. Now, throughout the years, a lot of people have argued that Surf and his co-defendants were all on the same page and agreed to take these plea agreements. I showed y'all one example of one co-defendant who was filing paperwork basically saying, hey, I wasn't involved in distributing no drugs or no racketeering with no Crips, and we know what was said. But this one I feel like is really important. Among those indicted with TSU Surf was a guy named Elijah Williams. They call him Lil Smith, right? Lil Smith was continuing to fight his case long after Surf took his plea agreement. So Surf pleaded out, I believe, in April of 2023. Yeah, he took his plea in April of 2023. This document that I'm about to show you is from November of 2023. Now, in this document, the government alleges that Elijah Williams, was still claiming 7 months after Surf took his plea that the indictment failed to adequately plead that Williams participated in the enterprise. It failed to adequately
that nigga's trying to get up out of there. He don't want them papers on him. He's done. He's trying to get it going.
plead that the enterprise had a hierarchy, and it failed to adequately plead that Williams committed overt acts in furtherance of the enterprise. So this dude is saying, hey, this paperwork that y'all laying out here, this does not sufficiently show that I'm a part of an enterprise. It don't show that I committed crimes in furtherance of the enterprise. And in order to show that I'm a part of the enterprise, like y'all gotta, for us to qualify as an enterprise for RICO purposes, we have to have a hierarchy. Y'all haven't shown a hierarchy. The indictment doesn't allege or show a hierarchy at all. And I think what he was trying to do was he was trying to get them to show them like a chart, or, you know what I mean? Like, show them what ranks they had people positioned in. I don't know, but he was basically saying, hey.
Now, that's enough definitely to get you a RICO charge. If you have people in ranks, he's a capo, he's a boss, he's a general, he's an enforcer, he's this, he's that. All that will definitely come into effect into a RICO.
Ain't no hierarchy involved in this at all. The government will respond to this, and they would highlight exactly what parts of the indictment actually do cover and expose the hierarchy. And I think that it's important to point these things out, because this gives you a better understanding of how they drew these things together. I believe that Williams was in the same position that a lot of people are in, where they see these words, they read them, they know how to put the sentence together, but they don't actually understand what it means. So he's looking at this indictment and he's saying, hey, it ain't nothing on here that say I'm a part of no enterprise, or, you know, that we got.
Now, if you looking at the situation as a group and you see something that goes upon what you're not charged with, I can see why somebody would want to separate themselves. But if that's to the detriment of the group, somebody's going to call you a snitch for sure.
No hierarchy or nothing. And what the government did is they directed his attention to certain parts of the indictment that listed the things he's saying that they don't have. They even included an excerpt from the actual indictment. And it reads, though an enterprise need not have an hierarchical structure, this particular enterprise did, and its structure is pled in the indictment, which states that the rules governing the Rolling 60s establish, among other things, a hierarchical power structure in which members are given designations or ranks signifying their status within the gang, and a system of discipline and punishment for those members who violated rules or failed to carry out orders from higher ups. And then it says ECF 43 at 4. So it's telling you that this is the document 43 at page 4. Specifically, sections 5A and B. If you go to document 43, which is the indictment, and you go to page 4 and you go to section 5A and B, you will see the same things that the government quoted that he's saying is not in the indictment. The rule.
So if the government is quoting and saying that it's not in, is saying that it's in the indictment, you saying that it's not. It seems like you might want to fire your lawyer and look at the situation from a different perspective, because brother, you are in the paperwork, and it's showing that you are not looking too favorable.
Rules governing the Rolling 60s establish, among other things, a hierarchical power structure in which members are given designations or ranks signifying their status within the gang, and a system of discipline and punishment for those members who violate the rules or fail to follow orders. If you look at page 5, you will even see that they have a list that says members and associates of the enterprise. So they not only just use the term enterprise, but they identify the people that they consider members. Franklin, was a senior member of the Rolling 60s. Among other responsibilities, Franklin communicated with leaders of the Rolling 60s in other states, to include California and Pennsylvania, and issued orders that lower members were expected to follow. So they not only allege that they have a hierarchy and that you get disciplined if you don't follow orders, but they got Franklin listed as the guy who's given the orders that these guys got to follow or they face discipline. Warden was a senior member. Among other responsibilities, Warden organized the transport of large quantities of marijuana from California and other places to New Jersey and elsewhere. Warden also coordinated drug distribution, including heroin, marijuana in around Irvington and Elizabeth. Williams, whose paperwork we read, Bird, Terry, Cox, Edmonds, it names all of these guys as members of the enterprise. So while he's trying to challenge, hey, this don't say I'm a member of the enterprise, this don't say I did nothing in furtherance of the enterprise, this don't say nothing about a hierarchy. The government is referring back to the things that they have alleged in the indictment.
Yeah, so it's looking like niggas have said too much, bro. You've done too much talking. You've done too much conversation. You've put too much into the universe, and now the government is coming for you. The government ain't tripping. They ain't taking it personal. But you did. You said all these things, and now it's looking like you're gonna have to eat that, big dog.
Now, part of the reason why is because a member of the enterprise by the name of Rajah Cox, TSU Surf, has already come in and expressed a desire that I must get this case resolved as quickly as I can. My life with the Rolling 60s is over. I'm turning the page. I need to get back to my career and my daughter and my mother. Mr. Whipple, help me. Please do anything you can to try to get this case resolved and get me before the court as fast as possible. Somebody already went in there and said that. And as a result of him saying that, the government said, well, all right, we'll offer you a plea deal, just plead out to racketeering. And he accepted the deal and went in the courtroom and said this. The judge asked, Mr. Cox, did you know that you were a felon and thus prohibited from possessing firearms? Yes. Additionally, during the previously mentioned time period, did
Nigga, if the answer is yes, then you know that you pulled a stupid move, bro.
you knowingly and intentionally conspire with other members and associates of the enterprise to distribute and possess with intent to distribute at least 40 but less than 60 kilograms of marijuana across state lines? Mr. Cox, aka TSU Surf, answered, yes. Yes, ma'am. The judge then asked, Mr. Cox, from at least in around 2015 through September 22nd of 2022, were you a member and associate of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips gang known as the Rolling 60s or the Enterprise? Yes, ma'am. Did the Rolling 60s operate in the District of New Jersey, Mr. Cox? He answered, yes, ma'am. Key part, because this is what Elijah Williams was trying to fight. Did the Enterprise have rules, traditions, protocols that you were expected to follow as a member and associate? Yes, ma'am. So everything that Lil Smith is trying to challenge here, the government
TSU Surf is saying, yeah, you did. So I ain't saying that TSU Surf is telling on his homie, but you definitely not making it easier for your homie to come home, for sure.
is referring him back to the indictment. And the reason they are doing so is because they are confident that the things alleged in the indictment are true, because they have a member of the enterprise who has already gone on the record and confirmed these things. Now, some of y'all might be confused and think that I'm just trying to draw stuff together that doesn't really go together. So I'm going to refer you to the end of this hearing where the judge asked the government if they have anything that they want to put on the record during these proceedings. Before they were allowed to speak, the government asked TSU Surf, is it fair to say at this time you are pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty of the offenses set forth in counts 1 and 3? And he said, yes, ma'am. Count 1 being racketeering, which lists all of those other people. So he's saying, yeah, I'm guilty of that, which includes those other guys. Then they asked the government, are there any representations the government would like to place on the record? And the government says yes. They said the United States makes the following representations to the court. First, the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips is an enterprise as defined in Title 18 United States Code, Section 1961. Second, the activities of the enterprise affected interstate commerce, including through the sale of marijuana, heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, and the use of facilities in interstate commerce. This makes you know that Surf did a little talking, because why are they talking?
Yeah, it definitely makes it seem like Surf did a little bit too much talking, because they're talking about things that wouldn't have come up. They're not talking about wiretaps. They're not talking about informants. They're just talking about, you know, these little situations instead of circumstances. But it's like, why are they coming up if nobody's bringing them up? So it's like, how are they getting this information? Because it seems like TSU Surf is giving up a little bit too much information here
About marijuana, heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, all of this stuff, if he's only pleading out to guns. Everybody keeps saying he just took his own.
Right. If you're talking about all these drugs, nigga, you had guns. Why are we talking about any type of drugs? That's an ATF case. Why you?
Wait, he only had a gun case. Bro, they talking about all types of stuff in here. And this is his plea hearing. Third, that members and associates of the enterprise engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity as defined in Title 18 United States Code, Sections 1959 and 1961, in furtherance of the enterprise's objectives. Fourth, that the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips gang is a structured entity with a core of personnel which has remained intact through the years, and the group has an existence separate and apart from the commissions of any specific racketeering act. So after they ask him about protocols, procedures, rules, hierarchies, they come back and say, yes, the Rolling 60s is a structured entity. Fifth, had the matter proceeded to trial, the United States could have proven each and every element of count 1 and 3. This is all based on him saying, yes, I am in fact guilty of count 1 and 3. So now they saying, had this gone to trial, we could have proven every element of count 1 and 3. Surf didn't have a severance, so had it gone to trial, it would have included the other guys. And they now saying, based on what he said, we got it. And if you got any doubt about that, it says, the United States submit to your honor that these representations, which is what she just listed, her representations, coupled with Mr. Cox's affirmative answer. So it's not just what she's saying, it's also that put together with what TSU Surf said. The affirmative answers to the questions that you just asked of him provide a sufficient factual basis for the acceptance of his plea of guilty to counts 1 and 3 of the superseding.
Yeah, TSU Surf definitely said too much. They have you for drugs. I'm sorry, they have you for guns. I'm not sure why you're bringing up drugs. There should be no mention of marijuana, fentanyl, or heroin at all. Like, you just did way too much conversation. You did way too much talking. But I'm going to let y'all catch the rest of this on Byron Blake's page, man. We about to the next one. Red dots to the left. You know the rest. We go.
Protest the air, Smith. We on the air, protest the air at our best. You know that, man. Off the air. You know what I'm saying? We out here, ground zero for the neighborhood hero. We got all 4 corners. TMC, the marathon definitely continue. Mr. Bunker right here, live in the flesh. We out here, man. Trap knows. You know that, nigga.
Dangerous. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboards. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Miss it with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let him hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall, 81 points strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell me. gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Miss it with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboards. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Niggas hella fake, I know we're enemies' intentions. I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Miss it with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Miss it with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.